How you doing? This is Sam Tolley. Well, here we are in this February of 2022, toward the end of Black History Month, and our gas has gone through the roof. It's amazing. President Biden, now that Russia has invaded the Ukraine, well, actually, he stated before they invaded the Ukraine that he's going to put these sanctions on Russia, and it's going to really, we're going to feel the pain. And he's talking about the pain of the gas pump primarily. But it's convenient that he's talking about it like we're not already feeling the pain. I mean, before he took office, where I live in Arizona, we were paying less than $2 a gallon. $2 a gallon for gasoline. But as soon as he took office, and by the way, when he was running, he said, well, I'm not going to stop fracking or what we have going on. But see, this guy is into this climate change nonsense. And look, for any Bible-believing Christian, you need to understand that this climate change group is another religion to save the world. You can't save the world. You can't destroy the world. I don't even care what all these nuclear weapons that China, America, Russia, India, and Pakistan have. They can't do nothing without God allowing it to happen. And God said that He will destroy the world the next time with fire. The first time He destroyed it with the flood. So for Bible-believing people to get hung up on this climate change nonsense is ridiculous. He also said in Genesis that we were supposed to subdue the earth. That means we were supposed to use the resources that He gave us. He gave us the oil. What do you think He gave it to us for? So we can make gasoline, so we can make other products. This nonsense reminds me many years ago when we used to get our groceries in paper bags. And we got to save the trees. So they quit using paper bags and started making us use plastic bags. Well, trees grow on the ground. You could plant trees with seeds. And since we were supposed to use it, we get our wood and everything. We build our homes with trees. So what was wrong with making paper bags? And now they're talking about the plastic bags are killing dolphins or some fish or like the plastic things they put around beer cans or whatnot, or messing up wildlife in the ocean. And it's ecologically unsuitable. Well, hell, why didn't we just go to paper bags and leave it alone? No, that's not good enough. So now they want us to buy bags, buy cloth bags or some stuff, reusable bags. Well, those things right there, they get nasty and dirty and need to be cleaned or recycled or washed or whatever. So, I don't want to get on a tangent with this environmental nonsense, but the fact of it is when he shut down the oil production, my gas has been over $1.50, and by the way, did you know that we bought like over 200 million gallons of oil from Russia last year? Yeah. And part of the sanctions, I believe, is he's talking about not buying the oil from Russia, so it's going to cost us more. Your gas might be $4.50, might be getting ready to go to $5.50 or $7 a gallon. We never needed to buy gas or oil from Russia in the first place because under President Trump, we were energy dependent. We were drilling our own oil. We were getting it in Anwar. We were getting it through fracking. We were getting it off coast. We were exporting oil instead of trying to import it. And now we were begging Russia and even bought oil from Iran. This is silly. This is nonsense. This is all this climate change madness, and the American people are the ones that are suffering behind it unnecessarily. We should be able to get coal. We should be able to use oil. We should be able to use any resource the Lord has given us to use to live civilly and decently. And if you really want to hurt Putin and Russia, start drilling again. If we're energy independent once more and we can export oil, that's the only leverage Russia has. He was giving oil or selling gas to the European nations when we could give it to them, when we could sell it to them. So when he's sitting over here talking about like everything is Russia's fault, no, it's Joe's fault. And by the way, wasn't Joe and the Democrats the one saying that Trump was a Russian stooge? That he was doing the bidding of Russia? Well, Trump had the sanctions in there so Russia couldn't build its pipeline. As soon as Joe got into office, he closed down the Keystone pipeline. He closed down drilling in Anwar. He closed down new fracking, and he allowed Russia to start putting up their pipeline because he removed those sanctions. Now he's talking about putting those sanctions back in. So, who is the real Russian stooge? Is it Trump? No, it's Biden. And the Democrats, the same folks that over there said Russia, Russia, Russia for 4 years, spent $40 million trying to prove that Trump was in the bed with Russia. And when Mueller finally did his investigation, he not only could he not find anything on Trump, he failed to mention the fact that Hillary was behind the thing in the first place. He failed to mention any of the things that Joe was doing, like when Joe got the prosecutor in the Ukraine fired because he was investigating his son. So the Democrats have been behind our misery. They messed up the entire 4 years of the Trump presidency with accusation after accusation, investigation after investigation on garbage that they knew wasn't true. And now Joe's going to stand up there and try to tell us that we're going to suffer because of Russia when he was the culprit. And I believe, didn't his son get a bunch of $1 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife or some mess? I mean, these people have been in the middle of everything. And now they're in charge. And Joe, I mean, let's be honest, he don't even seem like he's here half the time. But Lord knows that if he leaves, we got Kamala. And she is more daffy than him while he's senile. But see, the folks that wanted Kamala in there, all they cared about was that she had a vagina and her pigmentation was less than white. They didn't care this woman didn't have any brains or had a clue of what's going on. They just had to check that circle. Oh, she's a woman. They say she's black, but that's not, we won't even go there. This is crazy. This is no way to run a government. This is no way to run a nation. And now we're stuck in the middle of this nonsense. Scam call. You should be sick of scam calls by now. We're stuck in the middle of this nonsense and we have to deal with it. Well, this is what the American people should do. They should quit listening to the lying media, start doing some serious research, start thinking for themselves, and get these crappy Democrats that have been ruining everything out of office. Now, your food prices went up. Your utility prices went up. If you buy something to go to the dadgum movies, everything is going up. Why? Because everything starts with the truckers. Everything starts with rolling. Everything, and when their gas prices go up, our gas prices go up. Everything, they pass it on to us. And those companies, they sit around and they move the cost onto the consumer. So when you make companies, corporate taxes, when they increase, they pass it on to you and me. And we get hosed in the end. And these same folks that say they care about us are the folks that are screwing us with a square pole and no grease. It's time to wake up, people. Face the facts. Get your pride out of the way and understand that all these folks have brought is misery. Didn't we have the greatest economy in the last 50 years under Trump? What kind of economy do we have now? All we have is a lying media that won't admit the fact that Trump took care of America and that Joe's letting it crash and burn. Think about it. Wake up. This is Sam Tolley. I'm out.